Hi there, Geminis. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Astrogirl, and we're looking at July 27th through August 2nd. A lot happening this week, and a lot of it has a lot of drama surrounding it, unfortunately. There's the second full moon, July 31st, for the month of July. We had a full moon already, and we're having a second one, and it's in Aquarius, your fellow air sign, your ninth house of overseas travel, higher education, and spirituality. So maybe you are coming to the end of your rope with a long distance love affair. Venus, the goddess of love, out of phase in your third house of communication through September 6th is going to be a big factor and contributor to feeling as if it's time to move on. For those of you who do choose to move on, it's not something that you can go back and forth on because you are in a very indecisive sign. However, if you make the decision to break free of someone that you've been seeing and commuting to see, this is the time to stick to that, especially with that full moon. Now, for those of you who are dating somebody, you may find that Venus retrograde makes it very difficult. Venus retrograde means that this is not the time to schedule a wedding, to get engaged, to decide to move in together, to do anything like that, which is becoming a more permanent and cemented part of the relationship. This is more a time just to chill out a little bit and maybe not see each other. When you first meet somebody, you get so excited. It's the honeymoon phase, and maybe you see each other every night. Well, while Venus is retrograde, it's not exactly a great idea. Venus being retrograde in Leo, the sign that's ruled by the heart. So this is a time of heartbreak for a lot of people. And as we've seen with Blake Shelton, a Gemini, and Scott Disick, a Gemini, they've both been given, they're both going through breakups, a breakup and a divorce. And no matter how famous and rich you are, it still hurts at the end of the day. So let's be very careful that you don't end up in the same quagmire of, Venus going out of phase, this full moon, and other planets in your third house of communication. Make sure, Geminis, that you are being open and upfront and honest with whomever it is you are dealing with. Not just people that you love and that you're sleeping with, your lover, but everybody, from your sisters, from your neighbors, from your friends. Honesty is the best policy. And make sure that you are, if people text you and say, hey, how are you? Haven't spoken to you in a while. Don't let that text go unanswered for another couple of days because, they're just genuinely asking how you are. And it's not polite for you not to respond back and say, I'm busy, I'm wiped, but as soon as I get a moment, I will, be in touch and we'll do something. It's as simple as that. And I think that too often we get too busy but everyone has their own version of too busy. And there's always time to sit down for 10 minutes and have a conversation with somebody that means something to you. And you know that. That full moon on July 31st is going to help you see it. Now, Saturn, the planet of focus and discipline, finally moves direct in your sixth house of hard work, service to others, health, and well-being. Moving direct this week after a 4-month retrograde period. And it's going to stay in that sixth house through September, and then it's going to move into Sagittarius, your relationship zone, which will help and force you to get a bit more serious about relationships in your life and making sure that you're putting enough time and balance and energy into your relationships. Have a wonderful week. Great speaking to you, Geminis, and I look forward to speaking to you again next week.